Well, I thought I had a couple more videos. I guess I was basically talking to myself. Just trying to get this thing finished up. We've got our solar light. We got our 2 panels for our 2 light bulbs. You know, people were talking about these lights. If you ask me, one-time deal. Unless you're going to put it on a permanent location. Now, it does have tabs on there. Those don't look the heaviest of quality. You could tape that wire or zip tie that wire to a tent or whatever, you know. I've been to outdoor concerts like the Gathering of the Juggalos, the Electric Forest. I can't remember, there's one like in the late 2000s, early 2000s, to where it was like a rock show. You camped out for a week or whatever. But I used to go to all those festivals. So kind of, you call it hippie stuff. Had a good time. It's better than going to a horse show sometimes. You know, I used to go to horse shows. People, they just, they put a tent together and, they rolled up the end of the event and throw it in the trash. Excuse me. The event and throw it in the trash. Same thing with those shows. People just walk away from those because they ain't got a dumpster. You know, you get out there, you have a good time, whatever it is. You don't want to have, like, if you're drinking or if you're whatever, and, you know, people get sick. Sometimes they puke all in it. They just roll all that stuff up and throw it in the dumpster. They don't want to smell like going home. Just saying. But, with these, pretty much like, I don't know if you can see that. They got a blue or a purple tinge. Looks like purple to me, blue maybe. Just kind of finished it up. Throw a way to hold the wires. Now, mice may potentially try to get on this, chew these wires up. I've had that happen in the past, is all I'm saying. You know, I've had them run wire, like in an old building or something. This stove, I hope you can see that. I didn't turn on the light. This stove here, now we're going to pull this back apart. I'm probably going to end up cutting it off right here and then pulling this out. We'll cut a hole in the back side of this so we can make a little gap in here, maybe a 1/4 inch. I think that rope kit's like 1 inch thickness. So we might go 1/4, may go 1/2, or it might be a 1/2 inch, whatever it is. We got to put a piece of plate back here and gap it so we can put a rope kit in the face of this. So when this closes, it'll push up against a rope kit basically, and we need a way to pull it tight against that rope so it doesn't leak, and maybe a couple more holes and a way to give it a draft if it don't leak. It just don't draw, okay? Now the first time I used it, it was great. You know, it might have had a little more air, a little more breeze. We got this kind of tar paper, and we capped all these boards out. We put some spray foam on it. We only put 1 can. I think it's good enough, personally. Dog food windows, so we got a little bit of light. But these do glow. But you can see, these clips are not much, okay? So I did have to bend them extra. I took a coat hanger and put the clip on that, and then I black taped it all together and I plugged it up. And it's an off and on kind of thing. So if you want more light, you're going to climb up to get that one. Totally fine. I got a chair. You know, it's just high enough for me to get it, nobody else. Unless there's somebody taller than me, you know. We got our buckhorn. We've got a water jug that we made up for our fire safety. We've got our butter bowl. I'll keep a 5-gallon bucket of water when I'm using this in here. Don't forget, I'm a little bum. But eventually I would, however, like to have 2 light boxes, a light that'll screw into the boxes with 12-2 wire to come down here, maybe a double gang box. It's probably going to be a double gang box if we put a light, extra light that we can plug up. A receptacle here. We might actually come out of the light box here and grab a receptacle because I've got a fan to suck out smoke. It's actually a smoke extracting fan. Nothing fancy, but it needs something. Now you might be able to use this with a little bit of an extractor, but it's got to have a rope kit. That's not going to do no good with the power being off. If it's off, we're trying to use it for some heat. So I don't know. I got to put a screen on that grate. It won't hold the coals. So you got to keep adding firewood to keep it going. And what happens is it just smokes. The wood could be too green, but we'll go double gang box here, or maybe a 3 gang box. I don't know. We might put an outside light on it too, just in case we want a light here and a light out on the porch. We throwed up a blanket. I throwed an extra board in here. We tar papered. We finished out our light last night or the other night. Did do a beam, spray foam. We capped all this. We've capped these inside pieces. Now, fabric cobble. We're not putting a bunch of money into this. It's not going to be something that it'll probably rot pretty easy. I mean, let's be honest. We did put our motion detector or dusted on. It's got 3 different modes. I like it. Now, if it's a gloomy day and it pops on a few times, it's not going to do that great. We trimmed our pieces off. We capped the front. Looks decent. I really like that. We moved our pumpkin head. We're letting it dry out. Now, if it don't mold or rot or whatever, it should shrink down like a gourd. It could have been scraped a little thinner, but I had a smaller jack-o'-lantern. We didn't cut this one off. We had to cut this piece off here to match on our other side. That was a headache maker. And I'm going to leave this one on, you know. Thinking behind this, we can hang something like a metal bar, like a piece of all thread or a piece of square tubing. If we can find something, make a bracket we can screw into this to hang stuff, if we so desire. I'll put the flashing up. I would like to have some long boards to cap this on out. I stuffed a board in there to take up the giveness right there. 2 pieces of wood. Now, pretty decent. But we still got a couple issues. Some of the paint has took care of a few, but we still got a few, so it might need one more tube of silicone. I took the cap off of this. You can see that wood's too green. So, or it's just smoking too much. I'm thinking it's too green. But we got most of it. They still got a few. We put a coat on it yesterday. I did put another coat yesterday. It has had one more. We had a heavy rain, and it was good. Like 1 or 2 drips. I mean, it was, you know, dripping pretty hard. But right there where that hole is, you can see right where the paint came down. I'm letting it dry for a full day before I do any more coatings of paint. I still got to hang at. I'm going to try to do the vent today. You see where it's dripping down here with the paint? It drips on that piece of wood and comes in inside. Now it's coming to the inside of the tar paper this time. I thought I had a couple more videos, you know, on this. Just progress as we did it, mostly yapping. So it deleted it for whatever reason. But come to this side, and we cut that one off. I would hit my head on it. It was sticking out enough. I trimmed it off, and I was like, I just lick it off. But that's it. Couple more boards. That would involve more screws, more effort, whatever. I may do that, I may not. I might get some nails. I still got some nails. I'd like to cover up that aluminum to give it that cabin feel. As far as, you know, being able to use it good enough other than the stove. And I'm going to try to get that little fan hooked up today. But you'll have to run it off of a extension cord. So the generator's not finished yet. Need to work on the generator next. We're buckled down for winter. Got to take a break on the truck. So almost got. I got the motor done in it. I got to make motor mounts. Once you get the motor mounts made, all we got to do is hook up the wiring. So shouldn't be much more. We'll have to patch that firewall. You know, put that steering column in it with a rebar and see if it'll start with that wiring harness. If it'll do that, we can figure out the rest of it. As far as headlights, taillights, heater controls, you know, to turn it off, turn it on. Just some heat. It ain't going to be AC. That sucks. Eventually, maybe put a kit in it to where it's got an electric AC pump. So, not a huge deal. Definitely need heat to defrost the windows. Definitely, I just basically, you know, roll the windows down. Good enough for me. But as long as it runs, we'll be better with that. I did move the car around. I did make up a mess of firewood. Been posting a few pictures. Like I say, next thing's next. We'll get our fan up, our smoke extractor, and we get that rope kit for this. Probably going to have to get a couple more rolls of wire, cut a hole in the backside of that, cut that, move it out, put us a piece to the back, weld it out solid, put a rope kit in it, see if we can get that to draw. Now, worst comes to worst, we do put a floor in it. We can cut that bottom one off, get rid of the eyebrow out of that. You know, we can cut it and make it whatever, and then use this as our ash box, because I don't want it too high to the ceiling, okay? Because it does throw quite a bit of heat, but want to be careful with it. As always,